Ship launches are supposed to be exciting moments, but sometimes things go terribly wrong. From sinking ships to out-of-control crashes, these failures turn into disasters in seconds. What really happens when a launch goes wrong? Let's watch out. As the crane lowered the ship, it suddenly tipped backward, lost control, and flipped over, but the ship still splashed into the water. A miscalculation caused the yacht's airbags to leak, forcing workers to pull it with ropes, as 1/3 of it was already sinking into the water. As the massive ship entered the water, smaller boats held it with ropes to keep it steady, but it wobbled dangerously at first before finally regaining balance. A massive ship in Brazil slammed into a bridge, causing a section to collapse instantly, sending 2 cars plunging into the water below. A Russian cargo ship rammed into a South Korean bridge, tearing through the structure and leaving multiple gaping holes in its concrete. An NYC ferry slammed into the side of a massive ship, causing severe damage and tragic fatalities as the impact tore through its structure. An Indonesian ship rammed into a small fishing vessel, leaving it badly damaged and barely afloat in the water. A small boat collided with a massive ship, prompting the ship to accelerate in an attempt to minimize the impact and avoid further disaster. Battling fierce waves in rough weather, the cargo ship struggled but was quickly overpowered, sinking within moments. The massive ship tilted as it entered the water, triggering a huge wave that sent people on shore running in panic. A reckless group tried to launch a boat themselves, but instead it slipped and crashed onto the ground before even reaching the water. A reckless group used a jeep to launch a boat, but instead it got stuck halfway, sinking into the water. The crane operator lost control while launching a fancy yacht, causing it to slip and crash straight into the water. As the crane lifted the lifeboat to mount it onto the massive ship, something went wrong, causing the boat to slip and crash straight into the water. As the massive ship entered the water, it dipped partially, causing a huge wave to crash onto the shore before it finally stabilized. During unloading, a human error caused the ship to sink, but everyone evacuated safely, preventing any loss of life. massive Modern Express Panama tilted dangerously before sinking into the water, creating a shocking and chaotic scene. The massive ship slammed into the bridge, crumbling on impact before being swallowed by the rushing waves within moments. The crane lifted the boat, but the rope slipped, making the boat crash to the ground, leaving it badly broken. A huge boat was launched, but a human error caused it to fall hard to the ground, leaving it badly crushed. The crane carefully lifted the boat with ropes, a risky task, but in the end, the launch was successful. The crane lifted the fancy yacht, but it swayed dangerously in the air as the operator struggled to control it, creating a risky situation. As the ferry hull was launched at Conrad Industries, it suddenly lost balance, rolled over, and crashed into the water, turning the event into a disaster. High-speed chaos erupted in Japan's waters as two boats collided, creating a frantic scene. The boat driver, seemingly in a rush, forgot to detach the rope from the shore. As he accelerated, the boat jerked back violently, nearly causing a disaster. As the crane lifted the boat, the truck lost balance, tilted backward, and the boat plunged into the water while the crane dangled upside down. The ship launched smoothly, but the airbag shifted, causing it to tilt sharply and crash into the water in a disastrous way. The massive ship's launch went wrong, with its front dipping deep into the water, nearly sinking on the spot. The crane lifted the boat with the crew still aboard, creating a dangerous moment where anything could go wrong. The car attempted to pull the boat but lost balance, creating a messy and risky situation. The ship launched with excitement as spectators watched, but after a smooth start, it suddenly sank into the water within moments. lady stepped onto the surfer boat expecting a smooth ride, but the board wobbled instantly, tipped over, and sent her splashing into the water. The car pulled the boat for launch, but things went wrong, and the boat ended up stuck midway. The driver attempted to launch the boat using the car, but in an instant, the car lost balance and plunged into the water. The massive ship rushed off the rails for launch, but disaster struck as it tipped sharply and crashed into the water. As the massive ship neared the shore, it crashed into a crane standing in front, creating a dangerous and unpredictable situation. The crane dropped the boat into the water but miscalculated, crushing a car beneath it, a clear case of poor planning and bad judgment. The massive ship launched, but it went out of control, speeding forward and crashing hard onto the shore. The boat raced toward the shore but failed to stop in time, crashing past its terminal point in a terrible accident. What safety measures do you think could prevent these disastrous ship launch failures in the future? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.